there, Dr. T here. I'm the author of Alleviate Dry Eye and the clinical director here at Lusky Specialists of the Dry Eye Center. Today I want to talk to you about the end of daylight savings time. So we fall back with our clocks and it's brighter in the morning, and maybe it's easier for us to get up again in the morning, but now it's dark when we leave work and we're on our way homes. It is very important for our eyes that we get enough rest every day. Our bodies do the repair work to bring our cells and our organs back to functioning normally while we're sleeping. So rest is a very important part of our lives, and ideally we should be spending a third of our day asleep. As adults, we should spend 7 to 9 hours resting and sleeping each night. Can any of you remember back? I know I'm super nerdy, so maybe not everyone's as nerdy as I was, but back to college when you were pulling those all-nighters, trying to cram your brain full of all that wonderful information the day before the test, and then think about how your eyes felt that morning as you're on your way to class to take the test, and their eyes are red and they are dry and they just feel awful. Or maybe you can remember when your baby was an infant and you were constantly up all night feeding and changing diapers. So maybe one of those two examples will resonate with you, but you can feel in your eyes the dry, the grit, the heaviness of your lids. And that is what happens when we don't sleep enough. Our eyes need to close 7 to 9 hours a night, or they're going to feel really dry the next day. So, as you know, I'm the author of Alleviate Dry Eye, and in my book, Chapter 6, is all about sleep. Now, I am not a sleep expert, so I read a bunch of books about sleep, and I want to share with you a couple of hacks that aren't necessarily in my book, that may help you get back on track this week as we recalibrate our body's clocks after the end of daylight savings time. So the first example I have is from Michael Hyatt's book, Free to Focus, and he likes to talk about a morning ritual and an evening ritual. So his evening ritual, he talks about shutting down, and he does the same thing every day at the end of his workday. He likes to shut down, review everything he's done for the day, check all of his emails one last time, and then make a list of things to do for the next day so that his mind is clear. He doesn't have lingering projects on his mind that he doesn't know what to do about. He's made a plan for the next day, and he knows how to tackle his biggest projects when he gets into work the following day, and he can rest that evening after he gets home from work. So that is really great for any of us who wake up in the middle of the night and we have our monkey mind going on and we're thinking about everything we need to do the next day. If you've written it down the night before, you can rest assured that everything's going to get done and you have a plan. I like to talk about in my book Alleviate Dry Eye, and even here on the blog, about an evening ritual of eye care. So remember, we take our contact lenses out every night. We make sure we clean and care for them properly and remove all of the makeup from our beautiful eyes. And then I like you to do a lid scrub and a warm compress, artificial tears, or a gel right before bed. And if you're on any kind of dry eye medication, make sure you take it that second time of day before you go to bed and rest your eyes for 7 to 9 hours. Now, I also read a book called Sleep Smarter. This was by Shawn Stevenson. It's a wonderful book. If you have sleeping problems, you should get a hold of this book. And the whole entire book is just dedicated to sleep. So Shawn Stevenson, he likes to talk to you about setting up your environment for sleep. So you need to have the room completely blacked out, and that may mean that you need to get blackout curtains to block out ambient street lights or morning light if you sleep past dawn, which I hope you're doing. And also, he recommends that you lower the temperature in your sleeping room to between 60 and 68 degrees. The room should be cooler while we're sleeping. And the final thing that I want to mention is to remove your electronic devices from the room. You don't want to be disturbed with the email, notifications, or a random text coming in while you're sleeping. So move your cell phone to the bathroom so that it's not going to wake you up with a chime or a beep. And then make sure your electronic devices like your computer, your laptop, your iPads, you're just charging them in another room. Leave them in the office. They don't belong in the bedroom. Great. So this is how you, number one, prepare yourself for sleep, and number two, prepare your room for sleep. And then the third thing is that you need to commit to sleeping, like I said, 7 to 9 hours. And the third book I'm going to mention here is Brendon Burchard's High Performance Habits. Sorry, I wrote it down. High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. And he has a whole chapter on getting healthy in order to be at your best. And he does, of course, talk about sleep. He recommends 7 to 8 hours of sleep for adults. And it has just been studied so many time and time again that we function our best when we are well rested. So Brendon Burchard, he gives us this sleep hack of training yourself to sleep longer. So like I was mentioning before, those of us who wake up in the middle of the night and can't turn the brain off, he says, don't get out of bed. Don't give up and give in and try and go do something else. You need to train your body to lay in bed for that full 7 hours. So he says, just stick with it. Stay there. It's kind of like running. If you're going to run a marathon, then you have to train to be on your feet for 26 miles. And most marathon runners don't train a full 26 miles, but they usually train a good 20 or 22, just so your body can get used to that feeling of being on your feet and the endurance that you'll need to get through on race day. So same thing with your body getting through a full night of sleep. So there you have it. Those are the 3 ways that I wanted to help you this week to feel better, more rested, and get through this time change. If you have questions about sleep and want to dig a little bit deeper, leave a comment for me below. I love to talk about sleep. I love sleeping. Who doesn't? And I'd love to give you other tips that I've learned along the way doing this research. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.